Hey guys, how are you doing? One of the items I had for Christmas was the 10-to-1 winder from KP Aero. I had a slight hiccup assembling it, so I've taken it apart again, and I thought I'd better just film myself assembling it, and it might help you assemble yours too. Cheers guys. How do we assemble this winder? Well, instructions are fairly clear once you've done it wrong. So I would suggest you open everything out and throw it in the box here. Make sure you've got all the components. So you've got the base. Notice which way it goes up. It's different that way to that way. You've got the base. You've got the double gear. That's a gear with 2 gears on it. You've got the drive gear. You've got the orange nut. Notice one end is tapered, one end is flat, and you've got the 6 screws. You've got M3, that's 3mm by 8, which are that one and that one. Then you've got the M20, M320, which is just 3mm by 20mm. And you've got 2 5mm posi pan screws, as they call them, which is those 2 there, and then 2 9.5mm screws. There we go. Then you've got the counter itself and the cover. Okay, all the components are there. So let's assemble it. I made a mistake, so I know what to do. First of all, the winder has 2 winders on it, the 4-to-1, which is that one. Turn it over and you've got the 10-to-1. Okay, now I'm going to be using the 10-to-1, and if you notice, if you orientate the winder with the instructions, you'll see that the counter, which is what we're going to assemble, goes on the end nearest the winder end. It doesn't go on this end. Okay, so we start, and the instructions tell you place the double gear on the spigot. Oh sorry, I've missed a. Screw the base on with 2 M3 8 CSK head screws. Now I've got, that's these 2 here. I've got a little magnetic screwdriver. I'm going to put that in there. So I beg your pardon. It comes with an Allen key to do this, but I'm going to use my little magnetic screwdriver with the correct head on it, and that's just going to go in there like that. Hope you can see that. As with all things mechanical, don't do it up tight till you've got the other one in the hole. The beauty of using a magnetic, of course, is you're not going to drop it. That's the theory. So let's just wind that in. Okay. The next instruction tells you to place the double gear on the spigot with the large diameter outwards. Well, this is the double gear. It's got 2 gears on it with the large diameter downwards. I said outwards. Large diameter downwards. Okay, so that goes on there with the large diameter downwards. The final drive gear you fit using the 20mm. The original one comes with, if you're not using a counter, a much shorter M3 screw. So that's got to be fitted. Fit drive gear with the M2 using the orange nut. So that's going to go there. So we've got to put the orange nut in, and it gives it something to screw into. Notice one end is tapered, so we put that end in first. When you turn it over, don't lose that gear. That pushes in there all the way down. Let's just push it down to the end like that. Now we put that one in there. So that now goes down into that nut. And the winder is going to turn, so if necessary put the handle in to secure it to stop it turning. I've got my finger on the end here just to stop it rotating on that side, but if it starts to rotate, which it's doing now, I'm just going to put the handle in just to stop it moving. That's our 2 cogs in. Next it tells you screw the counter on with 2 off 5mm posi-pan screws. So that's this bit. So that goes, these 2 holes line up with that there. Okay, and what they do, there is a little raised bit here, you can see that. There's a little raised bit here which fits into the top of those 2 little bits there, like that. Now I'm going to put in these 2 short screws, one in there. I'll do it up tight in a minute. One in there. Let's just do those up snugly. Okay, this little button on the top is your 0. Yeah. And now we put the cover on that way around, correct way, like that. 2 off 9.5s posi drive screws. So they give you an Allen key for the Allen heads, but they don't give you a Phillips for the Phillips head screws. So a small screwdriver is in order. So now the handle fits in there, and I shall secure it with the shorter screw. Let's just use that while it's there. Just nip it up. Okay, so now this is 10 to 1, so that says 1. This count as 1/10, as it says here, 1/10 of the number of turns. So if I wanted 100 turns, I would watch that go up to 10, for instance. So I don't have to count them if I wanted to. I'm on 9, 10, so it's 100 turns. I was putting on 1300 turns with my chipmunk earlier this year, so that would be 130 turns, which you can count if you like, but you don't have to, because you just count, you just turn merrily away. 27, 28, 29, 30. 130, that's 1,300 turns on the rubber motor. I would then disconnect it. As it tells you here, that's the winder assembles, it tells you here. Oh, incidentally, so if you wanted to use the count on the 4-to-1 winder, you don't use the orange nut. That's just a well, sort of a space nut. It actually tells you here, when using the 4-to-1 ratio end of the winder, use the screw in the handle, which is the short one, in place of the M3 orange nut supplied with the counter kit. So instead of pressing the orange nut in, you would merely put the handle on, and the handle will go in quite a long way and pick up the shorter nut, which is what I've used it to go on the back. And then it still counts 10 to 1, whether you use the 4-to-1 or the 10 to 1. I know because I've tried it. So, but the end of the winder, as it says here, the output shaft is fitted with a spring-loaded retainer where a piano-stroke music wire winding hook can be located. This hook should have a closed loop at the retaining end, and the other end shaped to suit the motor, bobbin or crocket hook being used. The wires should be 1.5 to 2 mm diameter. So that's spring loaded, so you can slip that in and close it off. just see an example of that. But yep, there you go. So that's the KP Aeros, which is where I bought it. KP Aeros, check out their website, kpaero.com. I'm not affiliated to them, but it's a real quality piece of kit. Not cheap, but if you want a decent winder, KP Aeros.com in the UK, that is England. Okay guys, so that's how you assemble a KP Aero winder. I'll link to my free flight rubber videos at the end of this video. That'll be up just here. Check that out. If you like what you see, subscribe and take a look at the join button. Cheers guys, bye.